It's WG, bring you SMB, and in this video we'll be previewing the skin prices, the event difficulty, if stats have skins, and all the other like minute details we can look over. It's going to be short, you're going to get all the information you need, and we will be able to see how prepared we are in general for this event. So let's start off with the summer event. And for the summer event, let's see if we can check out. Oh, what? Wait. Okay, we're not gonna do that. There's quests. You can walk around. What? That's so cool. Hey, I'm such a big fan of this. What is this? Can we like pick up extra loot? Damn, that is so cool. All right, I'll let you all experience that on your own. Let's go to vessels. Gallery, there's a new SR vessel as well as also Lorelei. So we'll be going over Lorelei and the new SR vessel to see what can we expect from them to get like an early estimation on power level. Ooh, Jinx Selena. The way you get her is by logging in for 5 days. She is actually a healer. Okay. Let's see what she can do. When ultimate is cast, he triggers the special for once. Buy one, get one free. Okay. Skewer, 150%, standard. Triggers every 4 basic attacks. Restores 30% of Selena's max HP. If Selena's HP is full, heals the ally with the lowest HP for 30 of her max HP instead. Okay. Observes a selected target, applying all damage taken up for 8 seconds, and then shoots a crossbow bolt. Alright, let's be real here. She's a nice character to collect. You want her in your collection, but honestly, from like a healer perspective, you should only use her if you don't have an Edina yet. Right? If you don't have an Edina, you should use her if you already have an Edina. But I guess she's nice to have, and she might have some niche applications based on this all damage taken up. Like, it's 30%. 30% isn't that bad for 8 seconds. And also, it's not like the buff from Otavia where it's only 30% magic. This is all damage taken, so it does also stack with the magic damage taken up, potentially. So there might be something, but this bothers me a little bit, and that is, what if you get hit by an AoE attack? Then you're never gonna end up in a situation where like Selena is actually full HP, right? But still, nonetheless, it is a better character than Goldland. Alright? So, yeah, not that bad, and can be quite useful, maybe even necessary if you do not have an Edina. But now for the big guns. Lorelei, our very first exclusive character to this summer event. Let's see what she can do. So we already know the type of abilities, but now we need to know the multipliers, the modifiers. So what are we looking at? Soul Devourer. So in Siren form you deal 50% increased damage to sleeping enemies and a 30% magic defense ignore. Oh, she's immune to sleep. Makes sense. Makes sense. So she can't be sleeped. Damage dealt during this time won't wake sleeping units. Yes, okay. Now, what would also be interesting is, does that also affect your team, right? Like, is it a team-wide buff that makes every damage dealt immune to waking up sleeping enemies, or huh? So that's what we'll have to test. And then we have the 90% to enemies in the rectangular area ahead, so more of like an AoE. And then the Siren's form for 500% damage. That's a lot, right? Depending on how often she attacks, that is a lot. Like, yes, we're talking max level, but even at base level, you're looking at 350%. Okay. Siren Song cannot be purified, permanent, and 4 stacks. So every 4 basic attacks, sleep for 5 seconds. That is a lot of sleep. There's a lot of sleep. Sleep, once again, either lasting the duration or once you did 25% max HP damage. Special. Base form triggers when Lorelei applies a sleep, so which she does every 4 basic attacks, to a random awake enemy, and also applies a stack of the sleeping debuff. Triggers when Lorelei switches her target, except when using ultimate. Teleports behind a random sleeping enemy and set them as the target, dealing 525. If no sleeping enemies targets the enemy. Okay, so the way this works is she's in her ultimate, she gets a kill, and because she got a kill, or anybody of your team got a kill that she was currently working on, that means she's then going to teleport rather than walk to the next target. So big fan of that. Big fan of that. She's probably going to be the strongest assassin in the game. Okay, now this is important. Lorelei transforms for 11-second duration, and sleeping enemies won't wake up during this time. So yes, it is for everybody. Like, your whole team cannot wake sleeping units with damage. And then Lorelei teleports behind the selected target, inflicting sleep for 2 seconds, extra sleep, so she does extra damage to the target because of her dealing 50% increased damage to sleeping enemies and ignoring 30% of their magic rest. And then also, each enemy eliminated increases this form by 5 seconds. When the duration ends, Lorelei returns to her base form and teleports back to her original position. So if you start her off in the backline, after she goes on a rampage, she can go into the backline. So you're looking at a 50% duration increase upon kill. That is really good. That is really good. And the reason why that is really good is if you check out Van Helsing, right? If you check out Van Helsing actually only gains 3 seconds. He only he only gains 3 seconds, right? He starts off at 15, but he only gains 3 every kill. So she's strong. Definitely strong. How strong? She's gonna be a menace in PvP, and I can even see her in PvE. Even on enemies that aren't able to be put to sleep, I can see her do some massive numbers. Okay, so now that we've got this out of the way, what does interest you the most? It is obviously the skins. First off, skins do not have stats, right? There is no stats on skins, so no need to bother. If you don't want to buy a skin, you don't have to. There is no advantage to having one. And then also, for those of you curious, let me show you something interesting. You see this? You see this little icon right here, this like zoom in mark? You'll open this menu and you'll have the ability to zoom in and zoom out of characters. I don't know who would ever use that for anything, but what I find specifically funny is that this feature seems to be female character exclusive for no reason. Because you can go to, for example, Van Helsing and you see there's no slider, right? Male characters apparently do not have this slider. Some do. So this is not quite true. Some do. But yeah, price point wise, this is actually a pretty good deal. So you're looking at a guaranteed SSR, 50 normal summons, 10 premium summons, and the Daikalo skin for 20 bucks. Keep in mind though, you will have to level the pass. You will be easily able to complete the pass, but it won't be like instant rewards, you know? Won't be instant rewards, but it is a good deal. So now we also still have the custom. Oh, it's like 15 bucks. So the reason why these numbers are so weird is because we're currently on a Asia Spy account, is what I would like to call it. And on that one, everything like gets translated or like transferred from yen into euros. So expect around like 20 to like maximum 25 for these. And if you're curious about like skin animations and such, we'll obviously be covering those. So yeah, this is like the most important part, and the rest is just like enjoy the update, have fun. I wish you best of luck summoning, and we see each other on the big summoning stream. Man, this is so cool.